Right, settle down now, settle down. Right, as you may gather, there might be some haggis leaping out of the kitchen later on. Anyway, first of all, we'll do this one.
Hello everyone, this is your Action News reporter with all the news that is the news across the nation. On the scene at the Anchor Folk Christmas party, there seems to have been a disturbance here. Pardon me, sir, did you see what happened?
Cool, not half! I was standing over there by the kitchen counter, and out he came, running through the caff, naked as a baby, just wearing a Santa hat. I shouted over to Bridget, "Don't look, Bridget!" But it was too late. She'd already pulled his cracker. Here he comes!
Boogity, boogity,
There he goes!
boogity, boogity.
And he ain't wearing no clothes. Oh yes, they call him the street fastest thing on 2 feet. He's just as proud as he can be of his anatomy. He's gonna give us a kick. Oh yes, they call him the street. He likes to show off his physique. If there's an audience to be found, he'll be shrieking around, inviting public critique.
Once again, your Action News reporter at the Anchor Folk picnic. Pardon me, sir, did you see what happened?
Cool, not half. I was standing under the gazebo. He came out of the river clutching his bait box. I looked over and Leslie was playing in fishnets. I shouted, "Don't look, Leslie!" But it was too late. He'd already used his tackle. He ain't crude. He ain't rude.
Boogity, boogity.
He's just in the mood to go on in the nude. Oh yes, they call him the street. He likes to turn the other cheek. He's always making the news, running in the nude. Oh yes, call him unique.
Once again, your Action News reporter at the Anchor Folk Club Burns night. Pardon me, sir, did you see what happened?
Cool, not half. I was over there tuning my guitar. He came out of the back room just wearing a sporran. I looked over and Dawn was adjusting her kilt. I shouted, "Don't look, Dawn!" But it was too late. She'd already stroked his furry bit. He ain't rude. He ain't crude.
Boogity, boogity.
He just likes to flash at the prudes. Oh yes, they call him the street. He likes to turn the other cheek. He's always making the news, giving full frontal views, so they call him unique.
This is your Action News reporter once again at the virtual Anchor Folk. Pardon me, sir, did you see what happened?
Cool, not half. I was zooming away when he came out of Sue's virtual background, wearing just a smile. I looked over and Diane was checking the chat screen. I shouted, "Don't look, Diane!" But it was too late. I'd already been muted. Oh yes, they call him the street.
Here it comes again. Who's that?
Fastest thing on 2 feet.
Maureen? Is that you, Maureen?
He's just as proud as he can be.
What do you think you're
For
doing?
his anatomy, he's gonna give us
You
a
get your
beat.
clothes on.
Oh yes, they call him the street.
Maureen, where are you going?
He likes to show off his physique.
Maureen, you shameless
He's
hussy.
just as proud as he can be of his anatomy. He's gonna give us a beat.
Chris.
Dawn, you still speaking to me? Right. The Banjalele boys, come and show us some things.
I don't know how we're going to follow that. I thought it was a folk club.
Oh, you got your own. Okay, good.
I am an honorary bendy ladyboy, is that right?
That's the last thing she is, Bendy.
And I have been warned against terrible things to not do any harmonies.
Yeah, not to complicate matters.
It just confuses the issue.
Where would you like to do it?
That's fine. Do you want to go next to Rodney, because that's where you usually are, and I'll hang around on the end.
Okay. I might be next to Rodney.
You like me hanging around on your end, do you?
Ian's song again.
You can tell they're a married couple, can't you?
Too late. Boys and girls, I'd just like to introduce. My hearing's really down, so I'm not going to. I'm going to be strumming a bit, but probably not a lot else. Got an appointment next week. So in that case, a big hand for the deaf crowd.
Right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Bangs Lady Boys. What did you say? Look, I'm not going to spoil a joke while I'm saying it. I'll say it again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Bangs Lady Boys, the Donald Trump of the folk scene. Now, you're wondering why we were on first. The reason for that is we only know one Scottish song. And we were too afraid of someone else doing it instead of us. So we thought, if we get on first and someone else is doing it, it's their problem.
They paid me a lot of money.
We're going to start off with the Ringley Boat song. See, this is a nice chorus song. We hope you'll all join in and cover up our horrible sound. Are we ready?
Thank you very much. First time I'm up here.
Hear your whole voice, let her go, boys. Swing her head round, now all together. Hear your whole voice, let her go, boys. Sailing homeward to England. What can we how like the minches? What can we for when the weather swing the head round every inches, sailing homeward to England. Hear your old voice, let her go, boys. Swing her head round, now all together. Hear your old voice, let her go, boys. Sailing homeward to Wives are waiting by the quayside. They've been waiting since break of day. Oh, swing her head round and we'll anchor ere the sun sets on England. Hear your whole voice, let her go, boys. Swing her head round, now all together. Hear your whole voice, let her go, boys. Sailing homeward to England. When the wind is wild with shouting, and the waves bound ever higher, anxious eyes turn ever seaward to see us home, boys, to England. Hear your whole voice, let her go, boys. Swing her head round, now all together. Hear your whole voice, let her go, boys. Sailing homeward to England.
this is terribly amusing.
We've had quite a load of Scottish jokes.
Oh yes, the Scotsman. The Scotsman tells his best man that he will be wearing the kilt.
Aye, and what's the tartan?
Asked his best man. Oh, she'll be wearing a white dress. Well done. Well done, thank you. And you go.
I met the godfather of the Scottish Mafia the other day.
Oh, what did he say to you?
He made me an offer I couldn't understand. Right, okay, get up with your way.
That was terribly amusing. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah. Right, big hand for Trevor.
No. We're going to do a Robbie Burns song. Start the evening as you all mean to go on. You probably know that quite a lot of Burns' songs were overtly political. And he was, he was a protest singer at his time. And this is one of them that we're going to do, Parcel of Rogues. And what it's about is beginning of the very early 1700s. There were all, this was the time they were talking about how England and Scotland would become one. And in 1707, Act of Parliament was passed, really against the wishes of most people in Scotland, safe to say. And what Burns is telling us in this song is that the Scottish Parliament were bribed. Because what had happened is a large number of the people in the Scottish Parliament then had invested in a fraudulent investment scheme in London. I think it was to do with Panama or somewhere like that, and they were standing to lose an absolute fortune. And basically the English government said, for your votes, we'll pay you off. And they paid them all their losses. And England and Scotland became one in 1707. Robbie Burns didn't like it.
So we have a note. E minor. Is it E minor?
Farewell to all our Scottish fame. Farewell our ancient glory. Farewell even to our Scottish name, so famed in martial story. Now Sog runs over the Solway sands, and Tweed runs to the ocean, to mark where England's province stands. Such a parcel of rogues in a nation. What force or guile could not subdue through many warlike ages is wrought now by a coward few for hireling traitors' wages. The English steel we could disdain, secure in valor station, but English gold has been our bane. Such a parcel of rogues in a nation. Oh, would all I had seen the day that treason should sell us. My old grey head has lied in the clay with Bruce and loyal Wallace. But pith and power till my last hour, I'll mark this declaration. such a parcel of rogues in a nation.
I've decided from now on, if the phone rings, you've got to get up and do a spot with your audience or performer. So, Peter!
Many years ago, Frank and Anna Martin were my elderly next-door neighbours. And on St. Valentine's Day in 2000, Frank put this poem by the great bard in front of Anna. Oh, my love's like the red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. As fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry. Till all the seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun, and I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands of life shall run. And fare thee weel, my only love, and fare thee weel a while, and I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles. I can just see Anna looking up quizzically at Frank. Really? But what she did, in fact, was to write this. Not like the red, red rose, my love, that's newly sprung in June, but pale and withered, old and grey, for winter cometh soon. Decrepit art thou, aging fast, but yet in love am I, and reckon that will still endure till all seas run dry. No sign of that as yet, my love, just rain, there is no sun. But I suppose I'll love thee still while the sands of life shall run. Though dreary be the day, and thou morose, without a smile, I'll probably be hanging on for yet 10,000 miles. This poem so horrified Kirsten, Frank's young secretary, who typed it out for him, that when Frank returned to Anna, he told her of Kirsten's reaction. And Anna wrote this and asked Frank to give it to Kirsten. For Kirsten, my verse, not like the red, red rose, invoked your outraged cries. But what is love that only blooms like flowers 'neath summer skies? Enduring like the sands of time through storms and winter snows, my passion does not fade and die, as does the red, red rose. The withering flower has no allure, and so is cast aside. But for my dear, grown old and grey, my love doth e'er abide.
We have Johnny and Tony.
Right, this song was written about 40 years ago or so by a late and very good friend of ours called Dave Holden. But it's come to our attention that Donald Trump might just have got hold of it recently. So we thought we'd better sing it now in case he starts singing it.
Oh, Greenland is a
lovely place, in spite of what you have been told, where the balmy breezes blow all the summer long, and it's never ever cold, brave boys, and it's never ever cold. So why not book into North Greenland for your summer holiday? You can sit on the cliffs with your hot water bottle and watch the whalefish sport and play, brave boys, and watch the whalefishes sport and play. We're building beach bars around the coast, they'll be centrally heated too. If you should feel chilly when you come back from your swim, a blubber cocktail will soon warm you through, brave boys. A blubber cocktail will soon warm you through. Or you might try one of our winter breaks, ideal for your honeymoon. Though the nights are quite warm, they are a trifle long. You won't see daylight till June, brave boys. You won't see daylight till June. This song it was commissioned by the Tourist Board of North Greenland. And the reason I am standing here and singing all these lies is the cash they gave me in hand, brave boys. Is the cash they gave me in hand. Oh, Greenland is a lovely place, in spite of what you have been told, where the balmy breezes blow all the summer long, and it's never ever cold, brave boys, and it's never ever cold.
No, it was nothing to do with me. I would not lie to the CIA, would I? Okay, good. Right. Somewhere here there's a soup. Big hand to Sue Gray.
Looks like a dangerous weapon. I've been admiring young Robbie Burns, who's been overlooking the proceedings. And I should have done a duet with Peter. It's my Burns party piece. In the wrong key, sorry. My Burns party piece is the original song. So apologies, but no. I don't have a clever follow-up though. This was, I never sang this song when Hector was around because I felt it was his song, but I'm borrowing it now. Oh, my love is life. Red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like a melody that's sweetly played in tune. As thou art my holy love, so deep in love I
very short notice. Big hand for Carl.
It's Burns night, so he's a bit of a political activist. He's also a bit of a lover, truth be known. And so this is called the Lee Rig. The Lee Rig is a mound at the side of the field where he used to court. O'er the hills, the eastern sky tells Lupton time is near me, Joe. Howson fray the furrow fields, return say thou and weary o. Down by the burn where Birkin buds, you was hanging clear, me Joe. I'd meet thee on the lee rig, my ain canny dearie o. Midnight hour in the Mercus Glen, I'd rove and not be weary, oh. Through that glen I'd gae to thee, my ain canny dearie, oh. Go the night when air say wild, I were ne'er so weary, oh. I'd meet thee on the lee rig, my ain canny dearie, oh. Hunter loves the morning sun to rouse the mountain deer, me Joe. At noon the fisher attacks the glen, at noon the burn to stereo. Me and our gloaming gay, make me heart say cheerio. Take me thee on the lee rig, my ain canny dearie, oh. Make me the hour gloaming gay, make me heart say cheerio. Take me thee on the lee rig, my ain canny dearie, oh. Playing drop D to make sure it's in D.
Thank you, Carl. Right. Something I realised, I probably know more about Rabbie Burns over the last 30 years this club's running than I do my own family, so this is... Right. Michael.
Row your boat ashore.
Yes. Greetings. Greetings. It's a Barbara Right, big hand for Mike and Irene.
cheerful about it.
Okay, just give me a moment to remind myself.
Saying to myself, I thought
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to celebrate the birth in 1947 of Mike Davis. And in 209 years' time, no one will remember.
Oh, yes, we will.
Now, I regard that as a sad example of blatant racial prejudice. Because he, Robert Burns, who we are celebrating, was of course a Scot. Short presentation. He was born 25th of January 1759. He wrote a lot of poetry. He had a lot of children. 12. Fathered with 4 different ladies. He died 21st of July 1796 at the very, very tender age of 37. So Robert Burns, poet, collector of songs, stealer occasionally of songs, and we're going to do a short collection of our own of either songs that we know he wrote, or songs that he might have written, or songs that he pinched and adapted. There's nothing wrong with that in folk music, is there? Our first one is about Lizzie Lindsay. It was published in 1796, but probably based on an older song, and Robert Burns contributed something to it.
A few little tweaks here and there. Feel free to join in the chorus. Will you come to the Highlands, Lizzie Lindsay? Will you come to the Highlands with me? Will you come to the Highlands, Lizzie Lindsay? My pride and my darling to be. Will you come to the Highlands, Lizzie Lindsay? Will you come to the Highlands with me? Will you come to the Highlands, Lizzie Lindsay? My pride and my darling to be. Take on to the Highlands we sir. I dinna ken how this can be, for I ken no the land where I'm going, nor ken I the lad I'm going with. Will ye come to the Highlands, Lizzie Lindsay? Will ye come to the Highlands with me? Will ye come to the Highlands, Lizzie Lindsay? My pride and my darling to be. Oh, Lizzie, mon can say little if say that you dinna ken me. For I am Lord Ronald MacDonald, a chieftain of high degree. Will ye gang to the Highlands, Little Lindsay? Will ye gang to the Highlands with me? Will ye gang to the Highlands, Little Lindsay? My bride and my darling to be. So she's kilted her skirts of green satin, she's kilted them all round her knee, and she's gone with Lord Ronald MacDonald, his bride and his darling to be. Will ye gang to the Highlands, Little Lindsay? Will ye gang to the Highlands with me? Will ye gang to the Highlands, Little Lindsay? My bride and my darling to be. My bride and my darling to be.
Funnily enough, I have a book cover called 1759, and it says the year Britain became master of the world. This is the 4th year of the 7 Years' War with France. The British defeat the France in campaigns on 4 continents and achieve supremacy on the world's oceans. The keel of HMS Victory is laid in Chatham Dockyard. Still in Portsmouth today, still looking pretty good. The railways haven't been invented, so there are no train strikes. Burns was born in Ayrshire, and it's roughly an 80-mile journey from there to Edinburgh. The journey typically took 2 days on horseback. Probably takes about the same time now by public transport. 14 years ago, the Jacobite rebellion was crushed. As has already been mentioned by Cam, 52 years ago, the Act of Union created a single state out of Scotland and England. There's a thought. 13 years ago, the wearing of the kilt became illegal. I'm delighted to see that no one is wearing a kilt. It will be a further 23 years before this law is repealed. The same legislation outlawed the bagpipes. We might have an interesting discussion as to whether it was wise to repeal that. The King of England at the time is George II, but he dies next year. Robert Burns is born at Alloway, near Ayr, into a farming, small-holding family. The family name was actually Burness. Not sure exactly how it would have been pronounced, but he changed it to Burns in 1786. The sort of language spoken in the area at the time would probably have been a strong dialect of English rather than Gaelic, and probably would be extremely difficult for us to understand today. Certainly what is left us in his writings is incredibly difficult to understand. The story goes that on the day of Robert's birth, William, his father, in a quest for a doctor, encountered an old woman who asked for help to cross a swollen stream. William duly obliged and took her home to give her shelter. The old woman was, of course, a soothsayer. Most old women are apparently soothsayers. I know this from personal experience. But she did foresee greatness for the as yet unborn Robert. The family home at Alloway was something of a ramshackle affair built by Robert's father. When Robert, also known as Robin, was only a few days old, there was a storm which found the weaknesses in William's design and construction capabilities and partially collapsed, leaving Robert and his mother to take shelter in a neighbour's house. These two events were later recorded by Robert in a song, and we're going to sing you, fortunately, an anglicised version, and various titles used. There was a lad was born in Kyle, but a lot of people know it as Dainty Davy, Ranting Roving Robbie, and we need to take some refreshments, not of the sort that Burns was used. And again, there's a chorus, so each version if you feel so inclined.
As it's anglicised, you'll be fine. And of course, all this chat, which is probably of no great interest to anyone, is just a lead up to the main event of the evening, which will be the partaking of the haggis. There was a lad was born in Kyle, but what a day, what a smile. I doubt it's hardly worth a while to be so nice with Robin. Robin didn't change his name yet. Robin was a golden boy, ranting, roving, ranting. Robin was a golden boy, ranting, roving, Robin.
So by the age of 7, the family took a lease on another farm in the same area. Burns' childhood, it has to be said, included poverty, hardship, and manual labour for the children, which took a toll on his constitution. However, his father in particular was a firm believer in education. He was given schooling, not always regular, and a lot of his education was with his father, home teaching as we'd call it today. He taught his children reading, writing, arithmetic, geography and history, and Robert went on to be tutored elsewhere in another local school. But it was a tough life. By the age of 15, Robert Burns was in effect the principal labourer at Mount Oliphant. They had other helpers, but it was a hard life. Although his father was a very industrious and thinking person, he wasn't terribly successful at his farming career. They went from farm to farm, and they never really managed to improve their circumstances. By 1777, he removed his family to a farm at Lochley, near Tarbolton, where they stayed until his father died in 1784. So he certainly didn't have a silver spoon upbringing. Tough old life. The family at least became integrated into the community of Tarbolton. To his father's disapproval, Robert joined the country dancing school in 1779, and with his brother Gilbert formed the Tarbolton Bachelors Club in the following year, which is where we start to get an idea of some of his tendencies, one might say. And he started having a number of dalliances with ladies. When he was 22, in 1781, he moved temporarily to Irvine. I'm not sure it's pronounced Irvine or Irvine, I apologise to any Scots present, to learn to become a flax dresser. But during the New Year celebrations of 1781 to 1782, the flax shop caught fire, was burnt to the ground, the venture came to an end, Burns went back to Lochley Farm, and one of the things that he did manage to do during this period was he was persuaded to become a poet, which is probably not the most common occupation for a farmer. Robert and his brother Gilbert did try very hard to keep the farm going, but that one failed. They moved to another one, Moskiel Farm near Mauchline, which they maintained and lived in, but nothing ever became a success other than his success with the ladies. And he became to know a group of girls called the Belles of Mauchline, one of whom was Jean Armour, a name that becomes a very large and significant part of his later life. Going to do another song now. And this one's just me. Sorry. It's a bit of a mystery song, this one. It's attributed to Burns. I like to think it is by Burns. He didn't write the tune. That's mine. The mystery is that it refers to a river Avon flowing into the Clyde, a tributary of the River Clyde, which, as part of my extensive research for this project, I tried to find. I don't think it exists. But there we go. for a moment. While I I wouldn't go that far. I know purists don't like people using capos, but sorry. Snow spreads the bloom my soul desires. The sun from India's shore retires to heaven banks with temperate rain. Home of my youth, he leads the day. Oh, banks to me forever dear. O stream whose murmur still I hear, all my hopes of bliss reside wherever mingles with the Clyde. And she in simple beauty dressed, whose image lives within my breast, who trembling heard my parting sigh, and long pursued me with her eye. Does she with heart unchanged as mine, oft in the vocal bowers recline, or where yonder rot or hangs the tide, muse while the Avon seeks the Clyde. The lofty banks that Avon bound, the lavish woods that wave around, and o'er the stream your shadows throw, which sweetly winds so far below. What secret charm to memory brings all that on Avon's border springs? Sweet banks ye bloom by Mary's side, blessed stream, she views thee face to pride. And all the wealth of India's coast atone for years of absence lost. Return ye moments of delight, with richer treasures bless my sight. Swift from this desert let me part, and fly to meet a kindred heart. No more may aught my steps divide from that dear stream which flows to Clyde. Evan Mack. Well, if Robert had been a young man in the 1960s, his somewhat loose lifestyle might have been considered normal. The legends of his debauchery and drunken excess are probably exaggerations, not helped by his biographer, Dr. James Curry, whose notion of truth equates to that of a modern journalist. However, Robert doesn't help his own image by his fathering 12 children with 4 women. Yes, life was somewhat complicated for our Robert, and with all of his dalliances that tended to get in the way of each other, it was decided, or he decided, that probably the best thing he could do was emigrate. And he managed to get himself a job, or a job offer, as a bookkeeper on a slave plantation in the West Indies. And he was probably going to go with one of his loves, Mary Campbell, and they might have gone through some sort of wedding, the sort of tying the knot over the broomstick and that sort of thing. That the Scots had an equivalent called the Water of Fail. I don't think fail means that it's not going to work. So, at the same time, the fact that I mentioned previously that he'd been encouraged to write poetry, incredibly, well not incredibly really, because he was a genius, the poetry started to take off as a career. And the Kilmarnock edition, published in 1786, was a success, probably a surprise to him, but given his genius as a poet, it perhaps shouldn't be a surprise to anyone else. So he's becoming famous, and he's becoming well paid. He doesn't need to go off to the West Indies to avoid his somewhat complex love life. And it's not all serious stuff either. He wrote a series of poems which were published as the Merry Muses of Caledonia, and they're a bit raunchy. In fact, banned as an obscene publication until 1964. Readily downloadable from the internet. That's all. And this one, we will sing together, do together. I won't go into any detail about it dates to 1779, and it does relate to some of his affairs. But we won't go into that.
Summer's a pleasant time, flowers of every colour, the water runs over the hall, and I long for my true lover. I walk alone, walking I am weary, sleep I can be her Grace McFarland, but now she's gained a wall. They call her all folks darling. I walking home, walking, I am weary. Sleep I can't get me, for thinking on my dearie. I walking home. When I sleep I dream, when I wake I'm weary. Sleep I can get me, for thinking on my dearie. I walking home, walking, I am weary. Sleep I can get me, for thinking on my dearie. I walking home. Her father lose her wheel, her mother lose her better, and I love the lass myself. But woe, I can't get her. I walking home, walking, I am weary. Sleep I can't get me, for thinking of my dearie. I walking home.
Okay, so Robert actually marries his love, Jean Armour, in 1788. They take a lease of a farm, Ellisland Farm in Dumfriesshire, and bearing in mind his past somewhat lack of success as a farmer, he decides he also needs a proper job. So he uses the connections that he's gained through his success as a poet. He's made a lot of good social connections, and he manages to get a job with the Commissioners for Excise for Scotland. He became an excise man. And he must have been quite effective, because he was promoted in 1789 to the excise officer for Dumfries, and later to the port division. It was a tough job. He had to travel around a lot. He was supporting his family. But he also found time to poke a little bit of fun at the excise, the government, the authority. He also, that's something else I should mention, because as an excise man he was a fairly official sort of establishment type person, he felt that he should join the local militia, which he did. He joined the Royal Dumfries Volunteers in 1795. We're going to do another song. This is a song about a highwayman who'd been hanged he was not only a highwayman, he was a bit of a musician as well, and he left some information behind, which was the basis of the poem and the song. We're not totally sure what involvement Burns actually had with the writing of this, but he certainly had some influence on it and modified it. And he has one among friends. We can sort of regard it as a Burns song. Is that all right?
It's a good chorus, so again, join in, please.
Well, there's a very unkind way of expressing this, given that the guy was called Macpherson. He was hanged for being a highwayman, and could be regarded as a well-hung Scot, I suppose.
I don't understand.
I'm not sure I do either.
Dungeons dark and strong, fair wheel to Macpherson's time will no be line on yonder gallows tree. Say ransomed, say wansomed, and say dawn.
sadly, we're getting towards the end of his life. But nearer to the Hades. So, trade-off. Lived in Dumfries, went on long journeys on horseback, often in harsh weather conditions. As an excise supervisor, he was kept very busy doing reports, and bearing in mind that his health undoubtedly was compromised by the hard work he had to do as a child on the farm. His health began to give way. He aged prematurely. He fell into fits of depression, and sadly, on the morning of 21st of July 1796, he died in Dumfries, as we've already said, the tender age of 37. But boy, what a lot he packed into his life when you consider how difficult it was to do things and to go places in those times. He was buried with full military honours because of his excise work and the fact that he was a member of the Dumfries Volunteer Militia. Ironically, the day of his funeral was the day that his son Maxwell was born. He was at first buried in the far corner of St Michael's Churchyard in Dumfries. Eventually, his body was removed to its final location in the same cemetery, the Burns Mausoleum, in September 1817. And the body of his widow, Jean Armour, was buried with his in 1834. So very much a potted history of Robert Burns. But we will finish with a song, if we may. And let's see, Green Glow the Rushes.
Not being too Scottish, is it?
Not that you noticed.
Okay.
Song.
That's, yeah, had to happen sometime.
Green grow the rushes. old. Green grow the rushes old. The sweet hours that I spent among the lasses old. For you say, Dose, you sneer at this. You're not but senseless lassies old. The wisest men the world e'er saw, he dearly looed the lassies old. All nature swears the lovely days, her noblest work she classes old. Her princess home she tries on man, and then she made the lasses old. Green grow the rushes old. Green grow the rushes old. The sweetest hours that e'er I spent among the lasses old. Green grow the rushes old. Green grow the rushes old. The sweetest hours that e'er I spent among the lasses old.
Big hand again for Martin Owen. Right, just stay seated, folks. We'll just do a little thing in a minute. While Mike was talking about it, I was thinking there, imagine a farmer in those days where he's cutting his corn. You pop him in a time machine, bring him out, he's sitting in a combine harvester that's GPS controlled. Blow your mind, wouldn't it? Blow your mind.
You've been watching Clarkson's farm.
No, but...
Therefore, your honest saucy face, great chieftain o'er the pudding race, above them all you tap your place, pinch and trap with them. Weel are ye worthy of a grace as lands my air. The groaning trencher there ye fill, your herd is like a distant hill. Your pin would help to mend a mill in time of need, while through your pores distill an amber his knife. You see rustic labour did, and cut you up with ready slit, trenching the gushing entrails, breathed like only ditch. And then, oh, what a glorious sift, warm reeking, rich. Then horn for horn they stretch and strive, to attack the hindmost on they drive, till all their wheel-swelled kites belive are bent like drums. They're all good, man. Less like to rive, bethink it comes. Is there that our is French ragout or olio that would store a sou, or fricassee would mackerel spew with perfect scunner? Look down with sneering, with scornful view. Second dinner. Pale dill. See him all as trash, as feckless, as withered rash. His spindle shank, a good whiplash, is leave and knit. Through bloody flood or field to dash, oh, how unfit. But mark the rustic, haggis fed. The trembling earth resounds his tread. Clapping his wide Eva blade, he'll mack it whistle, and legs and arms and heads will sned like taps of thistle. Ye powers that make mankind your care, and dish them out their bill of fare, oh, Scotland wants nae skinking ware that jumps in luggies. But if you wish a grateful prayer, gie a haggis. Robbie Burns.
Robbie Burns.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to add something to the script. I would like you, this isn't in the script, I would like you to join in the toast to include our late, very good friend of this club, Hector Gilchrist, who for many years did, in a much superior way, what I tried to do this evening, which is the traditional histories and Burns songs and the address to the haggis. But he did it in the real, genuine way for us for many years. And sadly he's no longer with us, but I'm sure a lot of us, particularly on Burns Night, will think back to the wonderful entertainment he gave us. Hector Gilchrist and
Right, what I need, please, is hands up, vegetarians.
They're on the side there.
You know what?
With extra whiskey. First come, first
Going out, spending your husband's money on lunch. Going Get married 2 years later with their tax advisors. You wouldn't understand what they meant now, would you?
Okay, sit down first,
Yeah, yes, nice.
Now, a few of you are still crispy.
Thank you.
As long as your hands are clean.
Right, raffle time. We have a bottle of red and a bottle of white. Bottle of Jack Daniels. Right, kindly donated by the big lump of things, stuff, panettone, and I don't know where it originally originated from. No. Brought in a royal package with them. And it says it tastes really good. And I guess it would be another way we wanted. And a small bunch of nice red roses. Right.
Otherwise you can mince meat.
There we go. You get your choice of what there is. Is it John? No, it's not John. Number 74.
74?
It's me. Oh, Chris. What do you... Oh,
White wine.
white wine. Hey. Oh, that's the first one. Right. It can be that way up or that way up. It's 69. Holder. Yes. Red. Jack Daniel. Haggis. Red. Red. How come you get one and I always end up with 2? Well done. 82. Am I pretty? Oh, they're all going in the same range. 96.
69 and 96. Haggis.
Haggis has gone, so we've got some flowers and a bottle of Jack Daniels to go. 92. 65. Jack Daniels or Flowers? Flowers? Yeah?
I'll tell you what, I'll give you 10 quid for the bottle. It's an offer.
Somebody's got it. 1, 2, 6. Right, thank you, folks. Appreciation to those who donated a few of those items, thank you. Right, crack on.
Well done, ladies. Thank you very much. It was all very nice. I've got it. Got it,
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
We always have one at Christmas.
Right, big hand for the litter clearer. You couldn't hear that, so I'm all right. Right, big hand for Mari and Susie.
A Burns song, was it? Yeah. Sorry, start again. Genuine Scottish accent, that. And his came to her father's house at 12 o'clock at noon. The lassie being hearted, she would not let him in. And his bros sailing on the sea, when wind and weather's fair, 'tis better to be in
lost forgiveness time. Same tag you had, my bonny lad. For I had changed my mind, and his broad sailing over the sea, when wind and weather's fair, it's better to be in my love's arms, and there's that night we're there.
Last chance to see.
And it's broad sailing over the sea, when wind and weather's fair. It's better to be in my love's arms. Looking that
Thank you, ladies. Right. We've got a long range guest tonight. He's come all the way from Scotland. Scotland. So a big hand please for Hamish McTrevor.
Well, hello. You know, the other day I was looking through my vast collection of poetry by Robbie Burns. Can you stop the heckling, please? I was looking through my collection of poetry by Robbie Burns, and I found the one that I don't think anybody here has ever heard. I hadn't. It's called The Story of Richard McCory. Now, even the title rhymes, which I don't know. Anyway, the poem, shortly after it was written, was lost for many years. Until a wee boy over across the sea in America, he discovered the poem and he wrote a wee tune. A wee tune. Poem and a wee tune put them together. His name was Simon. His name was Simon Paul. It could have been Paul Simon, I don't know. And he took the poem and he put this little wee tune to the poem. And he put it on his first big record. His long-playing record. Anyway, this is the poem that was lost for so many years. The story of Richard McCory. And I'll have a go. I'll try and sing it in the voice of Simon Paul rather than my own silly Scottish accent. They say that Richard Cory owns one half of this whole town, with political connections to spread his wealth around. Born into society, a banker's only child, he had everything a man could want: money, grace and style. Papers print his picture almost every place he goes. Richard Cory at the opera, Richard Cory at a show, and the rumours of his parties and the orgies on his yacht. He surely must be grateful for everything he's got. But I work in his factory, and I curse the life I'm living, and I curse my poverty. I wish that I could be, and I wish that I could be he freely gave to charity. He had the common touch, and they were grateful for his patronage, and they thanked him very much. So my mind was filled with wonder when the evening headlines read, Richard Cory went home last night and put a bullet in his head. But I work in his factory, and I curse that life I'm living, and I curse my poverty. And I wish that I could be, and I wish that I could be, and I wish that I could be Richard Cory. The ballad of Thank you very much. I don't think Robbie Burns actually wrote the poem, but you believe everything I tell you.
Thank you, Hamish.
Hi, you're welcome. I'll see you next year.
You again.
I'll fill it. I'll do it. Just to remind you, in 2 weeks' time it will be a normal singers' night with YouTube and Zoom. So,
Possibly.
sorry?
Possibly.
Possibly.
If we get here in time.
Oh. Well, where are you going?
We've got a few.
Oh. Okay, well it will be a singers' night anyway.
If
It
we
may
get
be,
here in time,
it may be Zoom
it
or
will be
not,
Zoom.
so we'll see how we go. Mary, can you follow this act, please?
Where shall I follow him to?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, just while there's a brief interlude, can we all say a big thank you to all those involved in the preparation, serving, and the idea of the
I'll do a few dedications a bit later of other things too.
Oh, right.
You're ready, right. I don't know, there's another act coming. A big hand for another act.
Very good evening to you all. Don't you worry yourself, that act has been authenticated by the as truly remarkable by the BBC Pronunciation Unit. So you'll have no criticism, thank you. I'm not here to sell you anything, no. I have wonderful news to share with you, if you have a minute. No, I can see you're a deeply intelligent audience, and I'm here today to share good news with you. You see, for many people today, life is all about accumulation of wealth or possessions, like, guitars, to take a random example. Do you know what dream camera is? Others think it's about success or just having 5 minutes of fame on the folk club circuit doing a bad Scottish accent. No, I am a devout follower of the Scottish fate. And the Scottish fate brings great news to you. Yes, there's a great rumbling and awakening in the cosmos. And it's not just the curry I had last night, bim. I'm still panto season. Now, are you ready to hear the word of the Holy Sock? Hail the Holy Sock!
I see you are a true believer, and that you too wear the raiments of the true follower of the Holy Sock.
All hail the great Holy Sock! Yes, the sock, the one true sock, the one sock that fits all. The sock that will guide you out of the darkness of your sock drawer, if only you embrace his sockiness and follow his footsteps to seek the enlightenment of his infinite stay fresh oneness. Brothers and sisters, are you prepared to join the Sockies today? Take the steps to become one with the universal truth that lies with the coming of the great Holy Sock. Oh, hail the great Holy Sock!
Yes, I too await the great day of dawn. when all the holy socks...
All hail the great holy sock.
The great day of darning...
Well, all hail the great...
The great day of darning when all the holy foot coverings have become as one again.
Well, I think they've all seen the light now, brother. More converts for the sockist cause, if I'm not mistaken. So what do we know, brother? What shall we do now? What did you know?
The situation is, you have to say to yourself, what does the great catalogue of socks tell us?
He who darns his socks darns his soul.
Aye, true. That's what I was thinking of.
There's no such thing as an odd sock, only socks that are odd.
Many a wise word is written in the Holy Sock Catalogue. But no, try again.
A sock without a hole is like a fish without a bicycle.
No. Listen. No, listen. When the Holy Sock...
All hail the holy sock.
When the Holy Sock...
All hail the holy sock.
When the Holy Sock, the foot covering, is rewarded with new converts, as his disciples, what does he tell us to do?
Eat blancmange.
No. We go shopping, of course.
Oh, right, of course, yes, we do.
And what's the thing that we sockists treasure?
Oh, Kylie Minogue.
We must go shopping for socks. When two or more devotees are gathered together, verily let them seek the nearest outlet of the holy sock.
All hail the holy sock.
All we need to do is to find a local sock shop. But don't forget, it's got to be suitable for followers of the sockist faith.
You mean it's got to be kosher?
Well, not so much kosher, more crochet. But where can we find such an establishment?
Well, as it happens, you're already here, and welcome to my shop. Jock Macready's Scottish Sock Emporium. I'm sorry if you've been waiting long, but I've only just got back from my son's university graduation ceremony in Edinburgh. He graduated in Scottish poetry, you know. Aye, that's right. I've just been to his first degree Burns ceremony. Oh. Very sorry.
No need to be sorry, it wasn't that bad, Joe. Now, my good man, you say that you stock socks.
Aye, indeed, we are stockists.
And you stock socks for followers of the Holy Stock.
All hail the great holy sock. But are you asking whether we stock sockist socks? Well, as a matter of fact, yes, we specialise in sockist socks. In fact, we are the sole stockists of sockist socks in Scotland.
And do you have any of those sockist stocks for aliens with big ears?
Well, if you're asking whether we stock Spock socks in this Scottish sockist socks, we certainly do.
What about socks for big-eared alien football players from Edinburgh?
Yes, we have a special section for our selected stock of Scottish Spock soccer socks.
Now, my brother, he likes to dress as a country yokel at weekends. Do you have any suitable socks to match such an outfit, preferably while maintaining the Scottish footballing Star Trek theme?
Certainly, sir. It may come as a shock, but this shop stock of selected Scottish smock socks would be hard to knock.
In that case, I'll have a pair of your finest Scottish sockish socks, as we say in Dundee.
I'm afraid I can't sell you a pair of Scottish smock socks.
Why ever not, sir?
Because we suddenly have a strict no smoking policy in this shop.
In that case, sod the Scottish socks. I think I'll have some gloves instead of holy socks.
Oh, hail the great holy sock! Aye, I hear a wailing in the morning from stage right. It's the calling of the great holy socks. Time to be aware. Oh, hail the holy socks!
I usually enjoy coming this Spoke, but I'm not so sure. Really not.
Some people just don't take Burns seriously.
Whether I dare get on slightly under the influence of alcohol. What about the scene? I do love haggis. I could eat haggis every day.
Big hand for Mary!
It's been a wonderful evening, and I don't want to change the tone completely. But my wish for 2026 is that the world will become a peaceful place. This is very hard to achieve. Lots of people want different things. And so this is called The Strangest Dream. Last night I had the strangest dream I've ever dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. I dreamed there was a mighty room, and the room was filled with men, and the papers they were signing said they'd never fight again. And when the papers were all signed and 1,000,000 copies made, they all joined hands and circled round, and grateful prayers were said. And the people in the streets below were dancing round and round, with their swords and guns and uniforms all scattered on the ground. Last night I had the strangest dream I've ever dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. Let's hope.
Actually, seeing all this whiskey around has reminded me I had a MOT at the doctor's the other day, and he's told me I must give up alcohol, which is a real shame because I was with that doctor for 25 years. Right, Rodney? Cam, do you want to do one more? After Rodney? Right, big hand for Rodney, please.
Before I start, I'd just like to read out a bit of information I read in the recent copy of Lancet that I take regularly. Might help a lot of people out. I recently read a report that stated that the human male is physically capable of enjoying sex up to and beyond the age of 80, though not as a participant. Anyway, I don't often get the chance to do this because Ian doesn't like George Formby songs. This is one that I'm in the process of getting the hang of, so we'll see how it goes. It's called My Grandad's Bowler Hat. Whoops. My granddad was a fine old man, he lived to 93. When he died, he left his favourite bowler hat to me. When I go out wearing it, I feel a proper toff. It's so warm and cosy that I never take it off. In the bowler hat my granddad left to me. Our local club put on the novelty. A lady did a fan dance, what a lot of skin she'd got. As she waved the fans around, we couldn't see a lot. But then she slipped and fell down on one knee, and all the charms were there for us to see. I said, you've lost your fan, dear, but do the best you can, dear, with the bowler hat my granddad left to me. In the bowler hat my granddad left to me. One day I went to walk down by the sea. It was so hot and sticky, I was foolish, I suppose. As there was no one about, I took a full big clothes. I lay there on the beach quite happily. When 3 old ladies passing spotted me. When I noticed their intrusion, I covered my confusion with the bowler hat my granddad left to me.
Right, we'll make this the last act because we've got a little bit of clearing up still to do, cables and all that and the checking. So, big hand for Cat.
Actually, the last one, I might have chosen something that's a little livelier. It's not a lively one, but it is a traditional Scottish one. And I thought I should have a go at a traditional Scottish one. Black is the colour of my true love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She has the sweetest smile and the gentlest hand. And I love the ground whereon she stands. I love my love, and well she knows. I love the ground whereon she goes. I wish the day it soon would come when she and I could be as one. I go to the Clyde and I mourn and weep, for satisfied I never can be. Then I write her a letter, just a few short lines, and die dead 1,000 times. Chorus again. Black is the color of my true love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She has the sweetest smile and the gentlest hand. And I love the ground whereon she stands.
Evening, but I've got a couple of things I need to say. First of all, a big thank you to Susan and to Phil and Leslie for providing just a wee dram. To Guy and Chris for going out in the field and picking the right haggis to catch. All the people who helped sort it all out in the kitchen, thank you very much for those folks. Last of all
all the floor singers. Another big hand for Mike and Irene because quite a well-known phrase was saying, clear off! Please take bits and pieces with you, or if you don't want it, there is a big plastic bag over there.